Movie of all time.
I'm Mary Hart, and we're kicking off our exclusive Star Wars week tonight by taking you behind the scenes for a look you won't see anywhere else at the more than 1,000 dazzling costumes for the characters of Star Wars. That's coming up a bit later. But first, the most fiercely fought battle in any galaxy began at 12:01 this morning as fans led the charge for the new Star Wars toys.
We are the dorks of the century.
Get ready for the merchandising madness because a brand new batch of Star Wars toys blasted into stores at the stroke of midnight.
Come and get it!
The crowd went wild at FAO Schwartz to be the first to get their hands on the stuff. And here's a glimpse of what every kid will be clamoring for.
This is my first trip. I'm going to give it to a friend, come back to another trip, come back to another trip. I'll pay the credit card bills later. What do I care?
And buying is just what toy stores are counting on. With the hot new Lego set and everything from Darth Maul to the double-bladed lightsaber, analysts predict spin-off sales could exceed $1 billion.
And nobody should sleep until Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, comes out.
The mania spread to Denver with a convention of worshipers decked out as their sci-fi favorites.
Harrison Ford, eat your heart out.
I'm from Tennessee. I'm from Minnesota.
The three-day festival was the only force strong enough to pull Phantom fans away from ticket lines where many have already been waiting for weeks.
I was the first guy in the world to get in line for the film.
A little late, but no less determined, New Yorkers hunkered down for the duration as the wait for tickets spread to the East Coast.
Some of my friends do think it's a little over the top.
They understand I'm a Star Wars freak, and this is something I have to do.
Oh, man, that's scary. We told you about our exclusive Star Wars week and how it's just beginning, and we ain't lying. Stick around for your first look on the set of Star Wars just a bit later on in our show. Star Wars week coverage. Coming up on ET, the amazing behind-the-scenes footage of the making of the film, featuring the more than 1,000 costumes from the movie. All the wedding details as actor Greg
Looks fantastic and handsome.
You look good in this.
I like it.
You look fantastic.
Costumes, the characters, the behind-the-scenes that no one's seen before. We're taking you to the set for all the secrets next on ET. Our exclusive Star Wars week coverage continues with a look at the unique fashions designed just for the film. ET's Leonard Maltin takes you behind the scenes for the scores of costumes which could only come from a galaxy far, far away.
When I initially saw the designs, I was like, wow, I have to do this.
As if its stunning special effects weren't enough, the Phantom Menace boasts a galaxy of majestic costumes that impress even the Jedi Knights.
I just think the great costumes. I think Ewan looks fantastic and handsome.
You look good in this.
I like
You look fantastic.
Yep, I think that looks good.
Writer-director George Lucas proclaims that this prequel has the most elaborate wardrobe of any film in his motion picture career, topping even his original epic.
On the first films, costumes were designed not to draw attention to themselves. In the new film, the costumes do draw attention to themselves. They have to because they're in a more sophisticated society. And to do that and keep it timeless is much more difficult. So this is red, and then this is red.
To create this cosmic couture, Lucas enlisted the aid of renowned costume designer Tricia Bigger, who assembled 50 of Hollywood's finest wardrobe artists to assist her.
When I first started in the film, we were going to have 3 costumes for the Queen. And as time went on, George decided that every time we saw the Queen, that she was going to have a different costume.
No, Your Highness.
There's so many changes for me because a queen can't wear the same outfit twice.
She travels, she goes to the Senate, and each one of those demanded a different type of costume.
And Portman's sci-fi frocks were only the beginning. The costume department labored for nearly a year to create dozens of dazzling designs, inspired by the ancient cultures of Europe, Asia, and Africa.
The look of the costumes taps into all these various cultures that we all subliminally recognize, you know? It's very clever. You still have much to learn, my young apprentice.
And while Jedi robes may seem relatively plain, Ewan McGregor insists they're a perfect fit.
It was extraordinary to stand in front of the mirror with all my wardrobe on and stuff. Because I was Obi-Wan Kenobi, you know, and it was quite a moment for a young man.
As the duo battles the dark side, they encounter an interstellar cast of thousands. Producer Rick McCallum told me each has its own distinct look.
You can't go to a wardrobe shop and rent costumes for this kind of movie. That was so apparent to us from the very beginning. What wasn't apparent to us was how many costumes we'd have to build. It ended up being about 1,100.
We've done 2 versions of this armour in different types of quilting.
To do individual costumes and do them in the thousands is a very, very difficult task.
Okay.
But I did want the military to have several different kinds of outfits, that the officers were different than the enlisted men, that the pilots were different than the troopers.
I will sign no treaty, Senator.
But among the alien
In
horde,
the airwaves.
The fear